So hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Having to run errands and kind of do some carpooling today, sharing vehicles. You know how that goes, right? Because vehicles are so blame expensive now. But I'm waiting on Gabriel to get out of class, and so I have a few minutes, and I thought, well, let's just make a video. I've got some things to talk about today. I've got several things I want to talk about, but something that was said to me a couple of hours ago this morning, and I've been thinking about it since, I think is something important that we need to talk about. So I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday afternoon. I know there's so much going on that your head could just spin around 12 times. I get it. Mom, Dad, Mama, I get you. By the way, look at the leaves changing. Can you see that? Just beautiful here in East Tennessee. If you have an opportunity to, I always tell people, if you can go on the Cherahela and come back into Tennessee, because it takes you to North Carolina, into Robbinsville, and then come back into Tennessee on the Dragon, you can do it. Just go slow. It's no big deal. You're going to see some beautiful things, and I would expect that you're going to see some beautiful wildlife as well. We've seen a lot of bear, particularly on the Dragon. So be aware of the black bear, okay? So let's talk about something for a quick second. I hope you're busy. I hope you are hanging tough and you're getting a lot of things done. I am certain that my son is probably not going to be thrilled about me talking about them. Kids are so weird. Even when they're young adults, they're so weird. I was weird. You were weird. We were all weird. I want you to pay attention, though, to your children, and I want you to pay attention to things that they are noticing and things that they are telling you. And you may not believe like I do. I get it. And you know, I was not expecting this at all. I think my youngest child, particularly, all three of my boys are very special, very unique, have all different types of talents and personalities. Gabriel, you've seen him on many videos. He is probably my most outgoing, believe it or not, child. He's very social and he loves people. And he's very into trying to understand, you know, very much what's going on in the world these days. And, you know, being 18 to 20 and even your 20s, even into your 30s can be confusing for people. But it was confusing for me at times. I'm sure it was confusing for you at times. But a lot of these youngsters have been blessed with, you know, being able to feel and to see and to interpret things that I'm not sure we're giving our young people credit for. Okay. Now, you may not think like I do, believe like I do, so what I'm about to tell you, you may just think is silly, stupid, and whatever, but that's fine. I think there's something to this. This is the first time that he has expressed this to me. And I think he honestly believes there's something to it as well, but he's trying to process it. So we'll just let him process it, okay? So we got in the car this morning, and, you know, I brought him to school, and then I, you know, kept the car, and I'm running errands and doing things, getting goat stuff and picking him up and heading back to the farm. And he said to me, Mom, I had the weirdest dream, which he has never expressed this before. This is a first time that I mean, I know that, you know, he's not hiding anything because he's very talkative. Don't know where he gets it. He's kind of quiet on videos, but that's really not how Gabriel is. So I said, oh, really? And he said, yeah, I had this mom. I just had this. He was doing his hair. You know, he's got that long, thick black hair that it skipped me, apparently. He said, Mom, I had a horrible dream, and I'm not really sure what to think about it. I said, well, okay. So I'm starting to drive, and I'm listening. He said, well, I dreamed that I was at a pool, and it was 2 parents and 3 children. And I said, okay. And he said, well, I only saw one face. He said, I know it was, in my mind, I was watching parents and 3 kids. He said, and there were, the 3 children were in the water, like a pool, like a swimming pool, and the mother was in there. And he said everything was fine until the girl. And he said she apparently, like, she went underwater. So they were standing in the water and everything was fine. But when she went underwater, and apparently she got some in her mouth, she came up and brace yourself for this. He said, I've watched her like start, not convulsing, but like she was hemorrhaging, is a good way to describe it. And she was bringing up, I'm trying to not be gross here, blood clots. And he said the mother got out of the water and was fine, but the father dove into the water to start helping her. And he went under. And he said when he went under and it was like he got the water on his face or in his mouth, he said the same thing started happening to him. He said, and then I woke up. And I said, have you ever dreamed anything like this before? And he said, no. And he was like, I know what you're thinking, Mom. You know, he started doing sort of some of that. I'm like, I'm not thinking anything. And I said, well, did you see their faces? Do you know? And he said, the only thing that I know is that the young girl, I said, how old do you think she was? He said, I don't know, 4 or 5 maybe. He said she was young. And he said she looked to be, perhaps, maybe she was Chinese. He said, that's the impression that I got in the dream. And he said, and the father was trying to help her. It was like it all happened at the same time. He said it was a very fast moving, vivid. He said it was so vivid. And he said, it didn't affect you apparently unless you basically ingested it. Like you could stand in the pool, you were fine. But if it got on your face or in your mouth, it instantly took your life. He said, what I'm gathering from this is the water. He said the water was nothing but poison. And that's the way he interpreted that. And I've been thinking about this for the past, so I was like, okay, I didn't want to make a big deal about it because I know when I've had some dreams, and I think some of you all have expressed this too, that sometimes it takes a while to process and to think about what all you just experienced. And I do believe, whether you believe it or not, I don't know, but I think I'm seeing a lot of you talk about, a lot of people are having dreams now, like they've never had before. Could it be stress? Could it be the environment? Could it be what we see? Yes, I'm not totally crazy, okay? I get it. You know, could it be, you know, as he said this morning, he said, Mom, I think it may just be a nothing. You know, I said, you're trying to process this. I said, you need to accept it, try to learn from it, think about it, pray about it for sure. I said, God may be telling you something. I said, Gabriel, you may have been given this gift, you know. And he was just thinking about it. You know, when somebody comes up out of a dream like this, like I did in the past couple of weeks, I've had 2. And I know some of you all out there have had incredible experiences in the past couple of weeks too. It takes a while to kind of process and get over it. But the reason I'm making this video is to not, you know, share personal business. I really don't think he's going to care if I tell you. I want you to pay attention to your children. It may not be all of your children that could be, maybe if you would call it an empath, that have these sensitivities and are very super intuitive. Some people have these gifts and some people don't. I'm not well versed like some of you all out there in terms of the specifics of this, but I do believe that it exists. I think people, we've been blessed enough to try to interpret things that are happening around us. So it's not for me to interpret his dream, and it's going to be up to him to figure it out. And he may never talk about it again, because I don't want to put pressure on him or to push him, but I want you to start paying attention to your young people. Even if you don't think they necessarily agree with you, I think God is moving the young people to see and to know that there are things, and well, I'll just tell you my thought. I think young people are becoming more aware of the multitudes of crimes against humanity, and I think that they are also aware that we as a society and as a people have been completely lied to about so many things. You know, and you know, my kids are the first ones to be like, oh, yep, Yep, my mom is the one that taught me to be a doomsday prepper. Okay, make fun. You know, we have our moments where they'll be like, "Mom, how many beanie weenies are you going to buy, Mom?" You know what I'm saying? That's child and mother. That's especially like teenage and young adult kids to mother. We get that. But it was interesting to see him go through this experience because it really bothered him. It wasn't like, oh, I'd had a silly dream or I dreamed this. It was crazy, Mom. It was like he's trying to process and interpret and to understand what's happened. And I think he's been touched by something today. You know, we can all think about this and have our input, but only he really will know. He's only the only one that's really going to know because it was his dream. But I think your children too are going to be talked to by God one way or another. They probably already have. Maybe they don't know how to process that or think about it. And I think that's something important to talk about, is for people to know that they have more power within themselves, within their intuitiveness and those gut feelings and the brains that God and Granny gave you to know that things are happening, or that things need to change, or that we need to change. They need to change. So I don't want to give up on our young people. Please don't do that. I know we always have these moments of, we always have these generational wars of Gen X versus this, and they're fun and silly. Sometimes people get offended by that. I don't, because I think it's all silly. But I mean, you can't deny that for the kids that were born probably in the last 20 to 25 years, their life has been different than, say, mine or yours, perhaps, if you're my age or even older. We got to stick by them. They're very confused in a lot of ways, but we can't give up on them, okay? God's not giving up on them. So if God's not giving up on them, and I don't believe he is, then that means we're not supposed to either. A lot of times I'm finding that these young people just really, really want guidance. Even if they are off in la la land, I really do think they want some guidance. They may not even know they want guidance, but I think that it's important. I know that I look for approval from my elders, and I'm 46 years old. So why would we not think that somebody that's 18, 20, 25, 30, whatever, and I don't mean this disrespectful for you if you're 30. I mean, I could almost be your mama. I could be your mama. I had grandmothers that had babies at 16, so I know that's true. But don't give up on God if you're in this age group, and don't give up on them if you're not. Talk with them, pray with them. Here's the bottom line. If we're not going to do it, who else will? Like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate you so much today. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It is a gorgeous day here in Southeast Tennessee, right here at the foothills of the Smokies. It is just beautiful. And I know there's a lot going on, and I know that there's a lot of negativity, and I've seen some negativity over the last 12, 24 hours on social media, and I'm just not biting on it. I'm not letting it get to me. We're going to be productive, and we're going to be positive, and we're going to be preparing, and we're going to be praying, and we're going to be praising Jesus, and we're going to be helping our children. Don't stop and don't give up. Don't break the chain. Like, subscribe, and share. Love you guys so much. Love you like a little pig. I hope this helps you out. Tell me your thoughts. I mean, are you seeing things with your kids? I mean, I don't want you to get, personal. You don't have to tell me, everybody, your personal business, but I can't be the only one as a mom or as a grandmama, perhaps, that's sitting back and seeing that the children don't know it. They will know it. God is moving. Don't doubt it. Guys, God bless. Godspeed. And we'll see you on the next